Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. Thank you for stopping by. I'm in the tunnel this evening and I got a couple of things that I need to get done, but I think where I'm going to start first is really just getting rid of all of the first succession of tomato plants. I have a few that I was trying to hang on to, but there's just really no point. So I'm going to get rid of those. I'm going to actually go through and harvest all the peppers that I see. We're at the point now where the temperature is definitely dropping at night. So usually in the mornings when I wake up, well, before I wake up, usually the temperature this week has been dropping to like between 56 and 58. And so definitely that is on the cooler side for peppers. I mean, after 55 degrees, they really, don't do as well. And the peppers still look good, but I have quite a few green peppers that I don't think are going to get a chance to turn red just because it's not going to be warm enough. And I know that if the temperatures get too low, then the plant's not going to survive. It's definitely not in the shape of dying, but I want to just get all the harvest off of it. I'll make a decision about the peppers. Right now, I don't have seedlings ready to go in its place, so I might just keep the peppers. But the tomatoes, everything that we're pulling off there is pretty much diseased at this point. And I still have that back row of the third succession of tomatoes that I've done that I'll keep those in. But I thought I'd take you along with me as we do that. And just really, again, making this transition, this hard transition from summer to fall. Now, I could have let my sides down and close the back door of my tunnel to kind of trap some heat in here overnight. But again, it's at the end of the season and I'm not really trying to protect them like that. Plus all of my other stuff, it's going to enjoy the coolness. In the daytime, it's still been around 80 degrees, 80 to 84, somewhere along in there. So in the tunnel, of course, it gets like 90 degrees in here during the day. So I want to give the fall crops that coolness at night and not make it so warm in here at night when it's already warm during the day. That's my logic. But I thought I'd take you along with me. Let's get rid of these old tomato plants and let's get them out of here and then let's harvest and see what we have left. So you can see here, I have 5 tomato plants left that are from the very first succession of tomatoes that I did. So these plants have been in here since the end of April. So it's been a good run because we're almost, nearing the last week of September. So they've been in here 5 months. So I cannot complain. They have done extremely well. You can see here, I don't know if you can see, but like these look so good, but they have holes in them. Like they're green. Like that one looks good, but it hasn't turned. All the ones up there have holes in them that I can't even reach. So really, again, it's just time for it to go. Okay, guys, I almost just, as they were coming down, I wanted to just sing the song, They All Came Tumbling Down, because that's exactly what happened. You saw, if you could see, I was just cutting the string and basically the plant was falling down. I pulled it up out of the ground. Now, because I'm going to plant in these spaces, that's why I pulled the root up out of the ground. If I, for some reason, wasn't going to plant, then you could leave the root in the ground to decompose. But because I know I'm going to plant here, then I went ahead and pulled it up. So I willed a lot of that off. There was not one good tomato on there at all. So I know some of you saw green tomatoes. You're like, okay, save the green tomatoes. They were all bad. All bad. So I probably could have taken these out 2 or 3 weeks ago when I was first thinking about it. Have I gotten tomatoes since then? I have. If I had to put an estimate on it, I probably have gotten, I would say maybe 15 or so. Maybe 15 in the last couple of weeks that were actually good. So again, that's great. But I cannot complain about my tomato year at all. It started off a little rocky, but those tomatoes produce very well. And I still am pulling tomatoes from the outside garden, believe it or not. So another thing that I looked and saw is my basil doesn't look good. So we're going to go ahead and trim that as well. I don't know if you can see or not, but the basil has a lot of brown and black spots on it. And that's, again, It's been in here forever. So I think we're just gonna go ahead and pull it up. We've had plenty of good basil. Still smells good. Let me see if I can get a piece so you guys can see what I'm talking about. This is what it looks like. You can see the damage and stuff there. It kind of looks like that all the way over. And so it's time, and it's certainly not going to survive in here with it being 50 degrees or so. So it's had its, okay, I had to check because I thought I saw something moving in this wheelbarrow, but I guess the plant was just kind of like settling down. But it's had its good days and it's now on its bad days, and that's okay. Let me take a look and see what else is in here. This is where all my lavender was. It's dead. So we'll pull that out. The lemon basil has gone to seed for sure. All this is lemon basil, and it's kind of like growing weeds at this point. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much dead. It's amazing how good it smells. It smells so good. It's completely gone to seed. I'm going to cut this dead part of the eucalyptus. Okay. You can see all I have left in this bed now is my eucalyptus, and that eucalyptus is tall, as you can see. And then I have some sage. I need to harvest it before it goes bad. I think that sage can be a perennial in zone 8 or above. I'm in zone 7A, so I'm not quite sure that it will be a perennial for me, but I do need to harvest it before, because I haven't even harvested it yet this summer, so I do need to do that. It's just when you dehydrate, it doesn't do very well. So let me know. Let me know. I don't have a freeze dryer yet, because I've heard that if I had a freeze dryer, it would be much, much better. But the dehydrator, I've tried dehydrating herbs and I didn't like it. So let me know if you hang your sage to dry, and if it does, if you've tried the dehydration and you tried air drying or hanging it upside down, let me know if hanging it upside down works better in terms of color and flavor. But the dehydration, I did it and I didn't like it. It loses a lot of flavor. So yeah, if I'm not going to use it fresh, I don't know that I'm going to preserve it. We'll see. So now I'm going to go through, I got on my root apron. I'm going to go through and see how many peppers I can harvest off of these plants, and at least save those. Okay, y'all, more peppers than I anticipated. And this is probably half of what's out there. Do you see that? Wow. I only have one that was about to turn. The rest of them are pretty solid green. I can see that this one's going to be a yellow. That may go ahead and turn. But these are the Ajvarsky peppers. They have done extremely, extremely well. And then these are just regular bell peppers. Yellow, red, and orange. Okay, so I wasn't expecting that many. I thought it was going to be like a handful. There's a lot of peppers like still on the plants. So I think I'm going to let the rest of them stay and just see if I can get them to turn red. Y'all know I prefer like a colored red, yellow, or orange pepper. Red and orange being my favorite. I don't really have a lot of use for green bell peppers. So I could certainly give them away. Maybe I need to have a closeout sale with my customers and just, you know, reduce the price to get these peppers off my hands. I'm trying to clean my counters. And I really do by God's grace, I really have enough peppers in my freezer. I do. Now, will I let them go to waste? I will not. But I was not really expecting that many. So that's quite a bit. And like I said, I left half. There's like still that many more on the vine. So I wonder, maybe I'll just let them go for another week or so and see if, because the plant itself may stop producing or stop producing as it gets cooler, but whatever is on there, maybe it'll turn. I don't know. I'm gonna see, and if not, then I can always pull it. I don't think I will lose it by keeping it on there. I'll find something to do with these or give them away or something like that. And y'all, this is not even a time change. The fact that it's getting darker sooner is messing me up, because I'm coming out here at like the usual time thinking I got 2 hours, when really, in fact, I only have like 45 minutes because it's getting dark so soon. I'm not complaining, because that's what comes with the changing of the seasons and the fall and stuff like that. But I feel like it's getting too dark in the tunnel for me to be on video and that you can see really well. Like, it's a little bit brighter out here, but it's about to get dark in about 15 minutes or so. But it seems like it's already a shadow and much darker, in the tunnel. So I'm going to cut it here, and then I'm going to actually come back on another day and add to this video. I'm going to show you and talk about how to amend a bed. I've gotten a few questions about, Barbara, when you say you're going to amend a bed, what does that mean? And so I'm going to actually flip a bed and get it ready for planting and take you along with the process. For those of you that already know how to do that, no problem. But for those that have asked and that want to see it, then I will shoot that video hopefully tomorrow, and then I'll just put these videos together because it's all the same, preparation for fall. So I'll see you when I come back to the tunnel tomorrow. Okay, y'all, it's day 2, and so I'm back in the tunnel, and I promised you I would show you on camera how I'm going to amend or flip a bed, right? So a lot of times you hear gardeners say, hey, I'm going to flip a bed. So essentially, just to make it really simple, because I didn't know what it was when I first heard it, is I'm getting the bed, I've taken out one crop from one season, and I'm getting ready to get the bed ready for the next crop next season. So one of the things you have to remember, that as your crops are in the ground growing, they are depleting the soil of organic matter, nutrients, and all that. So you don't want to just take one crop out and put another crop in without amending or changing your soil, giving it new compost, and giving it whatever it needs. So that's what I mean when I say I'm going to flip a bed or amend a bed. So between each season, from summer to fall, fall to, summer, or winter to summer, when I take one crop out, before I put another crop in there, I'm going to add new compost, get the soil ready and prepped and ready to go. So let me turn the camera around. This is the bed that we're getting ready. This is the bed that had the green beans in it. So I've gone through and tried to clear most of the stuff out. There's still like, some, I don't know if there's not straw, but just like old stems and stuff. It's not a big deal to me to have that stuff in there because it can compost in place, but I've tried to get most of it out. I'll go through one more time and get what we can, and then we'll start adding some amendments. Okay, so I've cleared the majority of it out. You can see that. So the bed is ready for amendments. So let me kind of tell you what amendments we're doing. So I'm using 3 amendments today. I have not tested the soil in these raised beds. I brought the soil in, so I've never had it tested. I actually just bought some soil test kits to test the soil in my raised bed. I have not done it as of yet, so we're going to go with it. So again, ideally, I test the soil that's in my ground and stuff, but I've never tested the soil in my raised beds. So when you don't know, just add an all-purpose fertilizer. But for me, this is what I'm going to do. I have some alfalfa meal here that I know is great, good for nitrogen. I have some Vega Grow. This is a vegan fertilizer. It's a plant-based fertilizer that I got from M.I. Gardner. It's a 5-3-6 mix, and it has, let me see if it tells me what's in here. It has macronutrients, micronutrients, and plus beneficial bacteria and fungi. I have a little bit left, so I'm going to spread that in here. And then I have a controlled release fertilizer as well. So I'm going to start with this here. And I'm just going to sprinkle. There's not very much. there wasn't very much. That was just the last of what I had. So I put that in there. Okay, y'all, I'm taking advantage because I saw my husband pass by. I was like, ooh, lift this for me. I mean, I can lift it, but he can lift it like it's a feather. I don't lift it like it's a feather. So let me just walk you through. So I put in the alfalfa meal, and you're probably asking, well, Barbara, how much do you put in there? How do you know how much to put in there? Read the back of your packet, right? Because I've been doing it for a while, and because I know what I'm putting in there, that I just eyeball it, because I know. And with alfalfa meal, it's a slow release. It helps with nitrogen. You really can't put too much, so to speak. And so I just kind of spread the alfalfa meal around, and that was the most I put of anything. The first one that I put in there was the Vega Grow. I only had a little bit of that, so I just dumped whatever was left in there. And then on the Time Control Release Fertilizer, it's a 14-14-14, so it's high in nitrogen. And so I only used the recommended amount, which it came with a little teaspoon, tablespoon. The one side is a teaspoon and one side is a tablespoon. So I only put a little bit in there of that in there, and that's going to be good because it's going to be released over the next 3 months. So he's putting the compost in here. This is 2 bags of compost. Our tractor is down, so I'm having to buy compost because I really can't get any moved, so to speak, from my pile without just, going wheelbarrow by wheelbarrow. Huh. I don't know if it's going to be enough. This is why you should grow your own compost. I would have to grow a whole lot for it to fit in my bed. Guys, you see that bed is ready to plant? Doesn't it look good? Don't you just want to go plant something like right now when you see a bed like this? Like, it is ready to be planted. You see, I've already brought some seedlings out here to plant, but that's it, y'all. It's just that simple. That's how you amend a bed, flip a bed, whatever terminology you want to use. Again, basically what you're doing is you're clearing out the old crop. You're going to cultivate, weed, get the debris out, get it cleaned up, add in your amendments, whatever you want to use. You can use an all-natural fertilizer. You can use worm castings, or you can use some specific things if you've got a soil test done and you know exactly what you need. So if you need bone meal, blood meal, whatever you need, you can do that. If not, then add some all-purpose fertilizer, some worm castings, and then add a layer of compost. So we use 3 bags of compost, and I would say the layer is probably about 2 to 3 inches thick. So it is ready to go and ready to be planted. So I'm going to water all of that goodness in, and then I'm going to get to planting my stuff. But y'all, it's just that easy. So my husband just started on the weed eater. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video and plant in quiet. So you guys don't have to hear and contend with all that. But that's just how easy it is. So I appreciate you staying with me today over 2 days, watching me, helping me, encouraging me as I cleaned out some stuff in the hot tunnel, getting it ready for the fall. We're still in transition, right? And I feel like we are further along the transition as we move towards fall. So I hope that you guys, fall preparations are going well. If you are indeed planning for the fall and for the winter, and if you're going to take a break, I hope that you're wrapping up your summer garden and you're already dreaming and thinking about what you're going to plant next year. But thank you guys so much for joining me. Remember to subscribe if you have not already subscribed. And remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. See you soon, friend.